I downloaded and tested all the food tracking apps in the App Store so you don't have to. And then I selected 6 of the most popular ones and I ranked them from best to worst based on their cost, features, and accuracy, which means that I've chosen a winner for the very best app on the market right now if you want to count your calories, hit your macro targets, and lose fat in a strategic and science-based way. If you're currently tracking or counting calories with the most popular option, which is MyFitnessPal, make sure you watch this video to the end because I was also a MyFitnessPal user for years, and I'm going to be revealing exactly why I stopped using it. Not just for my own nutrition and body composition goals, but also with all the clients that I work with as a dietitian who specializes in weight loss and which one I actually transition over to. In this video, I'm going to show you everything that you need to know about food tracking apps, including what features to look for, what the differences are between each app, and how to select the best option based on your goals and your needs, and also how much you know about nutrition. So make sure you keep watching. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Andres Ayesta, and if this is your first time here landing on my channel, I'm a registered dietitian and I work with guys over 30 and specifically lots of dads like myself, and I help them gain muscle, drop fat, and build a lean, strong body that they feel proud of. Now on this channel, I show you how to crush a lot of these goals in a way that still gives you time for your family, helps you level up in your career, and also in a way that makes sense for most. So if you're a busy dad who's trying to balance it all, make sure you hit subscribe and hit that bell icon so you are notified every single time that I come out with a new video and when it goes live. Now let's get into today's video. One of the most effective strategies that I found for guys and people in general in their 30s and beyond who are looking to put on muscle and lose some fat is through calorie and macro awareness. Basically, tracking macros and tracking calories refers to keeping track of the amount of calories, protein, carbs, or fats that you eat every day, and you're aiming to hit targets for each macronutrient that are specific to your needs and your goals, or at least trying to aim towards a target anyways. There are a couple of key problems that a lot of people run into in this specific goals that keep them stuck and prevent them from losing weight sustainably and building muscle, and both of these problems can be easily solved with calorie and macronutrient awareness. The first one is the trap of dieting or the dieting mindset. You believe you have to restrict or cut out entire food groups to reach your goals, and you end up going way too far and eating a lot less than your body actually needs. And as a result, you might drop some weight, but what happens is you'll typically struggle to perform in the gym, you'll lose your ability to build high quality mass, you have low energy, you may even see things like the drop in your testosterone levels because you're not fueling your body accordingly. Second is the lack of awareness. Many people, especially when they're super busy, they don't pay a lot of attention to what they're putting on their plate, but they don't realize how the foods they're eating are adding up or causing some of the weight gain that they're experiencing, especially the little mindless snacks throughout the day that they're eating without even noticing. When you're tracking macros and calories, you gain awareness of exactly what your body needs to be able to lose the weight while preserving and even gaining muscle mass. Plus, this approach gives you a lot more flexibility because you can enjoy your favorite foods as long as they fit within your daily targets. It's like having a budget for your diet, but instead of dollars, you're working with grams of protein, carbs, and fats, and even calories, and it's great for people who are very analytical and numbers oriented. I've made a lot of videos in the past on how to get started with macro tracking, one specifically, a couple of them that are really helpful, and I'm gonna link those in the description box below so you can go and watch them because it's not gonna be the main focus for a video today. In this video, we're talking apps because the apps you use to track your nutrition can make a big impact on your success by how easy it is to use, how accurate the database is, and whether it fits into your lifestyle. A good app can simplify your tracking process, helping you stay consistent and giving you a lot of insights into your eating habits. On the flip side, less effective apps can make tracking frustrating and can lead to a ton of mistakes like miscalculating your macros or calories. So choosing the right app means less hassle and better results for you. So what features do I actually look for in a tracking app as a registered dietitian? I'm going to walk you through 10 of them because it'll be helpful to have this in mind as I'm reviewing and ranking the 6 apps that I chose to share with you guys today. The first one is a comprehensive food database. One of the most important features to having a nutrition tracking app is an extensive and accurate database of foods, including brand names and restaurant items. This makes it so easier to log meals without frustration or guesswork, and it's also important to use an app with a verified database. This means that what you search for is accurate. Now I'm going to explain this a little bit later as I go through some of these apps. The second thing is to have a customizable macro target option. In the app that you choose, you need to be able to set personalized protein, fats, and carbohydrate goals. I like having the option to do this based on a specific amount of each macronutrient in grams, or based on setting a calorie goal and then inputting the percentage of calories that I want to come from each macronutrient, protein, carbs, and fats, which are then converted to targets in grams to make it a little bit easier. Third thing is nutrient tracking beyond macros. Macros are important, but there's a lot more to health beyond just macronutrients, and that means being able to see whether someone is meeting their needs for vitamins, minerals, and fiber intake. It's also very convenient for apps to have an option to track water intakes, so when I'm looking at the food diaries of my clients, for example, I can see whether or not they're staying properly hydrated. By keeping track of micronutrients, it's easier to assess your diet quality. You can identify nutrient gaps and reach specific health goals like hormone balance, gut health, and optimizing your energy levels. The fourth thing that I'm looking at is a barcode scanner. The barcode scanner is honestly a game-changing feature, and I think it's a big fight among different apps and who can provide it for free and who can't. Part of the reason many people give up on tracking is because it's time-consuming, and being able to scan packaged foods for instant nutrition data speeds up the logging process. Number 5 is a recipe builder, or at least your ability to be able to build meals that you can save and predetermine for future use. This feature allows you to create or save recipes with precise nutrition breakdowns so that you can add in your favorite recipes and that are a little bit more complicated to track. And then anytime you have them, it speeds up the process and makes it so easy to log meals accurately. Number 6 is the ability to see a macro breakdown per meal. Along with being able to see overall targets for the day, it's also nice to be able to look at the macros in a specific meal along with their calories. This can allow you to make adjustments to make your meals more balanced. Number 7 is progress tracking and reports. Most apps usually have them, but the best apps include visual charts and trends for weight and body measurements, which will allow you to monitor your progress and help you stay motivated, particularly when you're doing it by yourself. Plus, as a dietitian, it helps me adjust my clients' plans as needed because I can oversee that information. Number 8 is having a professional option. This one probably isn't really important for you unless you're a nutrition professional or you're working with one. But when I'm coaching clients, I need an app that can integrate a professional feature into it, like allowing me to easily set up my clients' nutrition goals, monitor their progress without the need for me to send me that information or for me to add me as a friend so I can see that publicly. Number 9 is being user-friendly. To be honest, on top of all the features I just went through, it's so important that an app is easy to use, that has an intuitive user interface with easy navigation and a clear design. And the last one, it's an accurate calorie and macronutrient auto calculators. One thing that I'm always looking for in this app is how they estimate their calories and macronutrient requirements based on your goals. Most of them will have you fill out a lot of information when you first sign up and the goals that you have when you actually join them, but I often see that those do not seem in line with what I would recommend to a lot of people. They're either way too low, way too high, way too weird, honestly. So an app that shows you this more accurately is going to be ideal. Now it's going to be easier for you to be able to understand what the best apps have in common. Now it's time to get into the review of the 6 most popular tracking apps currently available. Now here's a quick disclaimer before I start. I am not being paid for anything I'm saying about the apps in this video. Now, with that said, I have gotten paid for a couple of these apps in the past to create content for them, but not for this video. This is all based on my own experiences, and I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. Now, the way that I did this is I downloaded all of these apps to my phone. I paid for the premium version in most of them for at least a month, and then I logged the same meal in all of them. I also used the barcode scanner in all of them, and I calculated the time that it took me to do it. I reviewed the data that it gave me, and I try to keep it as simple as possible, not to make this video longer than it needs to be. Now, I ranked these apps based on how user-friendly they are, which ones are going to be the best ones for very first-time users, and the helpful features that I would feel will help you in your journey. The overall value and the overall best app, then I rank them from best to worst from 1 to 6. Now let's get started with the most popular app in the tracking space, which is going to be MyFitnessPal. The cost is free for basic nutrition, weight, and fitness tracking. The premium version, it's one of the most expensive ones, and it's $79.99 for a whole year or $19.99 per month, which will give you ad-free. You can see which foods are the highest in certain nutrients. You have the barcode scanner feature. You can do a meal scanner, which converts a photo of a food to macronutrients. It also has voice logging, guided meal and exercise plans, intermittent fasting tracking, and a bunch of other things. As I mentioned before, I was a MyFitnessPal user for about 4 years before I gave it up about 2 years ago. And during that time that I used it, I got a lot of value from it, and so did my clients. So I'm not here to bash this app at all. Some things that I do like about MyFitnessPal are a huge database, the customizable macros, the calorie goals, its easy to use interface, and its ability to sync up with a bunch of wearables like Fitbit and Apple Watch. Besides this, they have an added feature like voice logging, which is not seen in other apps, and they also have added things like recipes and other things for the person that needs ideas. Now, this is a premium feature, but they made a few changes to the app not too long ago that I honestly didn't love, and more alternatives started to come out that I feel like, in my opinion, have better features. So that's why I made the switch. For one, they took such a simple feature, which is barcode scanning, out of the free version, and they put it into the premium version. Many people don't want to pay for premium, so this really impacted the convenience on the app, and a lot of people left because of that. Along with that, one thing that I've never liked about MyFitnessPal is that it's a user-generated database, which means anyone without any nutrition knowledge can add things into it that becomes available to other users, and those items might not be accurate. There's a time that I tried to log in a piece of bread and it had 500 calories for one slice. I don't know where or how they got that slice or that piece of bread, but it certainly did not reflect what I was eating. So that adds additional challenges to the tracking process, particularly for people that have no idea or no nutrition knowledge. Those entries are often incomplete, which means you're not getting the full picture of your micronutrient intake or macronutrient intake, even if the macro and calorie values happen to be correct. Plus, the free version has ads that can be very intrusive, and there's also limited focus on micronutrients compared to other apps. Now, in a few minutes, I'm going to be revealing the app that I now use personally for my clients, so stay tuned for that. But now, let's get into the second app that I'm going to be reviewing today. The second app is going to be Lose It. The cost of it, there's a free version, which includes a personalized weight loss plan that sets your calorie goals, a decent database, and the ability to sync up tracking like Apple Health. Now, they also have a premium feature, which has an annual membership cost of $39.99, and a lifetime membership, which is the only app that has this, that is $190. And it's honestly the cheaper premium version than any other apps. Lose It is a pretty basic calorie counting app that's simple and is very great for beginners. The basic version only focuses on calories, so if you're looking to track macros, you're going to need to upgrade to premium. Luckily, the annual membership is quite a bit cheaper than most other apps on the market, even the ones that you can pay per month. In the premium version, you're also going to find a barcode scanner and the ability to track measurements and sync your wearable tech as well. What I like about it, the dashboard shows you a whole week, and also the fact that you can see your diary and how you eat each day of the week. I also like that they added a voice feature that you can dictate what you had for a meal, and it will add a list of each. Now, the voice feature I've been actually very curious about, so I figure we might as well test it here together to see how it works. So let's go ahead and pull up the app and check it out. I'm going to be logging the breakfast that I mentioned, or the same meal that I said I was going to do. 2 slices of Dave's Killer Bread, 2 eggs, half an avocado, 1 medium apple. It did pretty good. Now, I think the bread that it logged, it wasn't really accurate, but pretty good. Now, with this app, the main downside is how basic it is. The barcode and macro tracking are both behind a paywall, and even when you have it, it's very complicated to set up, at least for the macros. So that's a pretty big limitation if you're looking to get started with macro tracking. Like, literally, it took me so long to figure out exactly how to do that in here that I was like, this is not ideal for somebody that is even like getting started with macros. Like MyFitnessPal, it also has a drawback that it's allowing users to add foods to their database, which means you're going to have some inaccurate entries, and there's also limited emphasis on micronutrient intake with this app. Third, we're gonna have Carbon. The cost, well, there's no free version, that's one thing. The membership is about $79.99 a year, or about $10 a month. Now, Carbon Diet Coach was co-founded by Lane Norton, which has his PhD in nutritional science, and Keith Cracker, who's a registered dietitian. So that already is a benefit of the platform because it's built by experts and experienced coaches. It has a simple and easy to use interface. It gives you personalized calorie and macronutrient recommendations based on the latest science, and it allows you to modify your goals based on your preferences. Aside from that, it has many other important features that I mentioned earlier, like the barcode scanner. It also has a label scanner, which is super helpful when you're trying to log a food that is not found in the database, customizable macro goals, and the ability to create your own recipes. The main difference between Carbon and other apps is that it has a coach that modifies your macros and calories based on progress. And this may be helpful for those that have no idea what they're doing, and it's one of those few apps out there that dynamically modifies your targets based on your progress. Now, the downside of this app and what I don't like is that this coach feature is great, but it's basing all calculations based on weight only. Now, with that information, then it modifies your calories or macros based on the weight that you have. So if you have not been losing weight and you were super compliant, then it's going to drop your calories. But the problem with that is that a lot of times people are not perfect that way. So it may be more of an advanced app for some people and not for somebody that is just getting started. Now, the accuracy and ease to log foods was pretty standard. It took took about the same amount of time to log it as other apps. Okay, now it's time to reveal which app that I actually switched over to after leaving MyFitnessPal behind, and that app is Cronometer. Now, the cost of it is a free version that includes accurate nutrition tracking, barcode scanner, you can customize your macro and macronutrient targets, exercise tracking, 7-day nutrition report. Now, they have a premium version, which is called the Gold membership. It costs about $55 a year and about, I think it's $8.99 a month. There's no ads, recipe importer, you have custom charts, you can do biometrics and a bunch of other things. Now, this is the app that I currently use for all my clients, and it has a lot of features that made an easy choice to use in my coaching program. The biggest one is that it has a highly accurate food database that's curated by professionals. So you don't have people going in and adding random inaccurate entries the way that you do with MyFitnessPal. And even if you do to contribute to the database, they have to approve it first before it becomes public. It also has the barcode scanner included in the free version, which makes it so much easier if you're just starting out and don't want to pay for a gold membership. And then, most importantly, for me as a coach and dietitian, it allows me to adjust my clients' macro goals and download detailed reports about their progress using the Pro version. On top of that, it's also probably one of the best apps out there for micronutrient tracking because of the extremely robust database that it has. I also like that it integrates with most wearable devices, even some scales. For example, I personally wear a Whoop on the side. It adds all my metrics automatically in it. I like that it has a lot of customizations around calories and macros, and you can see what formulas are being used for calculating your needs, which is something no other app actually shows you. Now, there's always downsides. So there's some things that I don't love about Cronometer. First, it can be really hard for a newbie to navigate the calorie requirements, even though the app does a great job at estimating those calories based on the right formulas. And it seems realistic. Second, not many people understand how to evaluate micronutrient information, so it can be a little bit harder to read the reports. Lastly, I feel it's not the most user-friendly version compared to other apps, but they have gotten so much better compared to when they started. Now, this app is so important to the success of my client that I actually include free access to Cronometer Gold in all of my one-on-one programs. Now, before we get into the review of my last two apps, I want to tell you quickly about our coaching program since I'm talking about it, because, well, if you watch this video to this point, it's possible that maybe we'll be a great fit to work together if this is something that you may be looking for. Our program, it's called the Fit Dad's Blueprint, and it's a 60-week program that is designed to optimize everything that you need to be able to achieve optimal health. We focus a lot on testosterone boosting and improving your testosterone levels, and this program is for dads who are fully committed to transforming their body and are willing to prioritize their health. Most guys that come into my program typically are dropping anywhere between 15 to 30 pounds in the course of 12 to 15 weeks, and it's for guys who are ready to take action right now rather than waiting until later and watching their health get in decline or get worse as time goes by. So if that sounds like you, I'd like to invite you to book a call with me and my team to see if we're a good match to help you out. I'm going to drop the link to book your slot in the description box. It's a free call. There's absolutely no commitment required, and it's going to be super helpful for you to understand what your goals are, what your obstacles are too, and design a game plan for you even if you're not working with us. So it's going to be a great opportunity for you to talk one-on-one with me at no cost to see if we can support or help you, or at least point you in the right direction. Now, if you're not sure about coaching and want to learn more about how we teach dads in their 30s and 40s to drop fat and build muscle, I actually put together a free masterclass that goes in depth on this topic and reveals 3 steps that I use to help my clients drop 20 or more pounds in 16 weeks or less. I'm going to drop that link in the description box as well if you want to check it out. Now let's move on to the final 2 apps for our review. Number 5 is going to be Macro Factor. The cost, there's no free version. The membership is about $71.99 a year, and I believe the monthly cost is about $12.99. I don't remember correctly, but I think it's somewhere along those lines. The app is pretty unique because it uses an energy balance algorithm that adjusts your calorie goals based on how much you eat, how much you burn, and how your body is changing. Basically, this app adapts to your metabolism by giving you personalized calculations of your energy expenditure. The food logger in Macro Factor is extremely fast, convenient, and accurate, even though it's a little bit harder to use, but I'll explain that. It has basically all the other features that I typically want to see in an app, except for a version that is assigned for nutrition pros who are tracking clients' progress, but I'm going to tell you why. Let's talk about those downsides. The main drawback is the lack of a free option, of course. The other thing that I don't really love is that they brand themselves as a nutrition coach because of its ability to make weekly adjustments and give you personalization to your macros. Of course, this is a great feature, but it's also a bit of an oversimplification. AI can do a lot for us, but it's not a substitute for the process of working with a professional or a coach who is there to help you navigate not just the numbers and targets, you need for weight loss, but also the mental battles and lifestyle issues that come up with the process, which are typically the real reason people struggle with to reach their goals. Now, again, if you don't necessarily want to hire a coach or somebody, just don't expect this app to be a coach that is going to personalize the entire experience for you, just your numbers. Now, the last one is just a small thing, but the layout of the app can be a bit complicated and harder to get used to. Like, for example, when I search for foods, the main apps typically have the search bar on top. This one has it at the bottom, which was like really weird to me. So it took me a little bit longer to find and search for foods when I was actually logging that simple meal. I do think it's the best app for someone super advanced, and you do have the option just to not use the coach version at all and just track numbers and macronutrients on your own. The last app is called LifeSum. Honestly, I had not heard a lot about it, but I realized that a lot of people are using it. The cost, there's a free version that has limited features. The premium version is $44.99 for an annual membership. And I do think in order for you to be able to get it monthly, you have to pay for at least 3 months, which I believe is about $10 each month. Now this one has a pretty nice user interface and includes a lot of healthy recipes for different diet preferences, which is kind of nice. It allows you to track your food, scan barcodes, access meal plans and grocery list, and track your daily habits, which is not something that the other ones typically have. So they focus a lot on the lifestyle aspect of things. They give you some form of life score that is calculated based on consumption of fruits and vegetables, meat, protein consumption, all these different things. Now, the main downside is that free version is very limited. If you want to see your own macro and calorie goals, you have to purchase a premium membership. And even then, it has less precise macro tracking, mostly because you have to base it all off on like only percentages. You can't just input numbers. And it also has a limited database compared to many other apps in the market. It's easier to adjust on the premium version compared to Lucid. Now, this is one thing I will give it to them, but this is just another one that I would say is assigned for people who are just maybe starting out with building healthier habits, and also for those that maybe want more recipe inspiration and have a specific dietary pattern or style of eating that they want to try. That's all the reviews that I have for all my apps. So let's actually talk about the rankings based on what I found. And again, I didn't give it like numbers specifically. I just figured like I would give you, based on my own experience using all of these apps, what I believe is going to be the best one for the beginners, the best features app, the best advanced app, the best overall value app, and the one that you should definitely download if you want to track macros and get a handle of your calorie intake. The best app for beginners, I'm going to say, is Lucid. It's less than $10 a month. It's very user-friendly. For somebody that just needs to track their calories, I honestly feel it's one of the easiest ones to use. The best features app is going to be MyFitnessPal Premium, because when you do have MyFitnessPal enabled, honestly, it has a lot of things that I think are worth using, from barcode scanning to the voice feature that seems like work pretty well. It has recipes, plans, education. There's a ton of stuff in it, and I do think it's still a very strong app. The best advanced app, I think, is going to be Macro Factor. Honestly, I love using it. It's amazing, but it's definitely going to be something for somebody more advanced that understands nutrition and macronutrients to a more advanced level compared to a newbie. The best overall value app, I believe, is Chronometer. It's less than $10 per month. You can track your macros without having to pay anything extra. It has a very robust and extensive database, and it's honestly very easy to use nowadays. And now for the final rankings, and the one that I think you should totally download or at least try out is going to be 1, Chronometer. 2nd, I think it's going to be Lucid. And even if you want to track macros, I think it's worth giving a try. 3rd is going to be MyFitnessPal. I think it still needs to make the top 3. 4th is going to be Macro Factor. I think, again, just because of the fact that most people that are starting this out may not be as advanced, and I think it may be complicated for some. 4th is going to be Carbon. Even though it's super simple and easy to use, it still requires a little bit more understanding of certain things. And the last one is going to be LifeSum, which I didn't love it. I honestly don't think it's going to be as effective, and I think Lucid, for somebody that is a beginner, is going to be much better. Okay, but there you have it. 6 of the most popular apps from worst to best, or from best to worst, with Chronometer app coming in the first place for general users. For other dietitians and coaches looking to work with clients using macro tracking, my first choice, it's also going to be Chronometer, because it's the only tracking app out there that has a professional platform that you can use and has a ton of capabilities for you to be able to access and see your clients' information. Now that you got my rankings, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Like, if you track macros, which app do you use? Was there anything in here you disagreed with, or you think that I missed in my ratings, or is there a great app that I didn't mention? If so, let me know, and I'm hoping that you enjoyed this video, and making sure you're hitting the thumbs up if you actually like it. Make sure also you hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next video.